Good morning, everyone. So this is our school-wide grades 9, 10, and 11 scheduling in program of studies tutorial. We're recording right now. We have the 9th grade class with us. Students, we're going to send this out to you and to your families probably at some point tomorrow or shortly thereafter. The whole concept today is to review with you course options for next year, start to look at the program of studies as a helpful resource to help you make educated decisions. And truthfully, like we have on the screen behind us, just choosing wisely for your courses for next year. I know it's only January and next school year is like 7-8 months away, but the master schedule and kind of how we, put ourselves in the best course for ourselves really begins now. And it's an interactive process. And I want to really stress something to you right now and throughout the presentation. Your teachers are really important guiding people in this process because they're going to be making recommendations to you this week. And we want you to talk to them about the courses that you're going to take for next year. So teachers are important for you to be able to listen to and to work with so that you get put and you choose the right and appropriate class. Can we go next slide, Mrs. K? Not only are our teachers important, but we have a full counseling team that is here to help you out. So just kind of as our general reminder, Mr. Rock works with students last names A through D, Mrs. Bowers with students last names E through K, Mrs. Filipowski with students last names L through R, Mrs. Straub with students last names S through Z, and Mrs. Season is our transition counselor. Also in our counseling department is Mrs. Whalen, who's our director of college and career counseling. As 9th graders who are with us right now, you might not have met her very much yet or worked with her, but she is a super helpful resource to help you as you start to think towards what classes you should take if you are planning on to go to college or the workforce or community college or whatever it may be. We also have Mrs. Welshaunt, a social worker in our counseling department. Mrs. Duffy, Mrs. Erlane, our fabulous administrative assistants, and Dr. Ramirez has been with you and is with you for a full 6 years as the secondary school psychologist. So in terms of picking your courses, you have a really comprehensive team to help you out, from your teachers to your counselors and to your principals. Next slide, please. Okay, so our goals for today, number one is just to overview the scheduling process. We want you to know what it's going to look like. We want to review course pathways with you and help you make decisions that best support you and your future goals. And we want you to learn more on how the program of studies and Naviance are used to support you to make wise and informed scheduling decisions. So where are we at right now in the scheduling process? Timeline-wise, your teachers are going to share course recommendations with you this week. Some of them have maybe already done so. Some of them will continue to do so. Today, we're sitting here January 26th, and we're reviewing our program of studies and scheduling process. That date up there, January 31st, is probably going to change. We'll send this out to your parents, but we will have a scheduling night that you can attend. You don't have to, but you can attend, where we'll review a lot of the information from today and take a deeper dive into the program of studies. Starting February 10th, all students in grades 8 to 11 will receive core academic request and an informational letter in Sapphire in the community portal. That will be sent to you on the 10th. That's your opportunity to go in yourself and select the courses that you want, including your electives. And we ask for a really quick turnaround with that and have it due on February 18th. Beginning the week of February 21st, our counselors will meet with you to confirm scheduling choices. And then you can kind of see through the rest of the process. And on the 17th, there'll be verification forms in March. And just want to emphasize again that choosing classes is kind of both an interactive process with you and your teachers and counselors and principals, but also a thoughtful process. Okay, so just kind of a reminder and as guiding principle, for us, our primary goals here for you are upon graduation, you will be college, career, and community ready. College ready in the sense that like you're taking classes that challenge yourself, classes that are going to make college kind of, I don't want to say easy, but easier for you because you've taken the curriculum here at Pine Richland and you're ready for that. Career readiness in the sense that you develop habits of mind, work ethic, that you start to value good attendance, and that you're ready to work hard and have a successful career, not a successful job, but a successful career. And community readiness, I think you realize if you're a member of any sport team or extracurricular activity here, that service to others and service to community is something that we pride ourselves in. So those are some of our guiding principles. There's a lot of engagement opportunities through coursework and extracurricular activities in our programs for you to be able to engage at a high level. Our program of studies we consider to be very comprehensive and robust, meaning that if you have an interest area, whether it's engineering or art, or maybe family consumer sciences, there are courses and electives that will allow you to explore what your interests are and start to think about what's next for you. Next slide, please. Also, as a reminder, students, our graduation requirements, we do require 4 credits in English, 3 each in math, science, social studies. Most of you 9th grade are in a health PE class right now, so you receive your credit that way. You have to have an additional flex credit in math, science, or social studies, and then take 9 total elective credits. You may receive those elective credits through Beatty or through our art programs or engineering classes, but we want you to explore some classes of interest for you for a total of at least 24 credits, plus proficiency or better in the Keystone exam areas, Algebra 1, Literature, and Biology. And just some considerations as we start scheduling. We also want you to have good balance. Just because we have many, many AP classes doesn't mean we want you to take every single one that you can. We want you to have balance. Many of you work. Many of you play multiple sports. A lot of you lead extracurricular activities and clubs that we have around here. So Mrs. Kuchnicki will talk a little bit later about the time management planner that's within the program of studies. As you choose your classes, just be mindful that if social studies is an interest area to you and maybe science isn't, it's okay to take some higher level classes in social studies and then some regular level classes in science. If you are interested more in the engineering pathway or whatever it may be, take some courses there that are going to challenge yourself, but realize there's only so many hours in the week and that we want you to, enjoy school and have a good high school experience. Okay, at this time, we're going to look at our scheduling process. Mr. Barlak, if you can come on up.
All right, so hopefully this week you guys have started having those conversations with your teachers about what courses they are recommending for next year. That's an opportunity for you as well to ask questions. If you are sitting in an honors class right now and you're being recommended to an honors class next year, I think it's a good idea to ask what that looks like, because it's not going to be the same format from, for instance, honors algebra to honors algebra 2, right? Every teacher teaches a little different. They weight their grades a little different. So it's an opportunity for you to find out what to expect moving forward. These conversations are meant to guide you to make sure you choose balance for your schedule. I know it's been said already, but if you're looking at how you're going to be successful in the upcoming years, you don't want to take on too much, all right? Obviously, we want you to be challenged. We want you to show resiliency and work through your schedule. But if you try to take too many honors or you try to go against recommendations, this is based off of your performance, based off of what they think you can handle. So please, please, please take these conversations seriously with your teachers, because what they're doing is they're just looking for what's best for you based off of your performance. Some of the things just to go off of here is, on February 10th, you'll get in the course, in the community portal for your families to start picking courses. One thing, this is where you choose electives, get in that program of studies, look to see what prereqs you have, what courses you qualify for, and things you're interested in moving forward. I recommend, you guys are going into your sophomore, and I know we have everyone else looking, but trying different things. If you haven't taken a class in a tech class, try it. You might be interested in it. If you haven't done an art, if you haven't done a music, it's high school. It's your opportunity to see what you might be interested in. You will never know if you don't try it. The only other thing on here is when you get that form and you have those discussions with your families, make sure we're looking at levels. It's going to come up. Actually, go to the next slide. I think it's on the next one. Right here. So when you're having those discussions with your families, if you choose that you were recommended for an honors course and you think, maybe this might be a little too much, it was this year, you just made it, and maybe you just want to kind of not have that stress or that anxiousness through that class, you are free to step down when you get that form in the community portal. You do not need anything extra. On that form, if it says honors, you would just then check the academic, and that comes back to the counselors. However, if you are recommended for academic and you want to go up, that's where that waiver form process comes in, all right? One thing you have to remember with that waiver process, if you come to the next year and you're looking that maybe you did take off a little more than you can chew and you want to come back down, That is only able to happen if there's room in the schedule to accommodate that. All right. And I'll talk a little bit more about that with the process, but that waiver process, you are agreeing to that. So if you are sitting in the second 9 weeks and maybe you have a D in an honors class and you want to come down, we might not be able to drop it because there might not be room in the schedule. So it's just something you have to take into conversation when you're having these meaningful talks at home about maybe taking on that honors course. February 18th, that's when that form is going to come back to us signed by your parents. All right. That form then goes to counseling, and that is what we are using when we go to the district level staffing. Those are the numbers I'm starting to use to build sections in the master schedule. And just a quick overview of this. The way the process works, just so you guys know, you do that course request, you pick your electives. Also, make sure you're picking some alternatives, because what happens is we get that form of your choices. We put it in Sapphire. The program just runs through it and starts putting you in sections that we've previously built. All right. The way it works is it does work from the oldest kids, the 11th to 12th graders, and it works its way down. So as classes fill, then it goes to your alternatives. So also, when you're choosing electives, you might not get something that's your first choice. So have those conversations about what you would like if that one doesn't work out. Obviously, we want you all to take what your first choices are, and we're going to try to do that accordingly. But when you start picking a lot of different classes, it creates holes in classes that could only fit in one spot. So it might not work. So then it drops down to your alternative. Anything else on there? Nope. Just a reminder, once your requests are in at the end of the year, there's no way to change it throughout the summer, okay? That's why this process is so important. Once that master schedule is set, you can't start emailing over the summer saying, I want to switch this one, I want a class with a friend, I need math first period. It doesn't really work like that because it's a computer that does that scheduling process. All right. And that's why we're starting this early, so that we can have these meaningful conversations and things of that nature. But it's real important for you guys to understand that you need to take this step of the process importantly, because this is what sets everything up for next year. And I already said this one, but just the biggest thing for you to understand is that scheduling changes isn't accepted over the summer, because at that point, the master schedule has already been built and you've actually already been scheduled in your classes. We're just kind of fine tuning everything throughout the summer.
Thank you, Mr. Barlak. Okay, we want to just take a quick moment to recognize the importance of Naviance and how this is a helpful tool in the scheduling process for you. Your career education work standards, your CEW lessons that the counselors come into your classes to do, are meant to start to help you figure out, like, what am I interested in? How are my interests aligned to a possible career? So you do lessons in Naviance to match your personalities and your interest with potential careers. You have very helpful tools in there that can help you with post-secondary, meaning beyond high school searches. So those are things like the Supermatch program in there, College Compare, Acceptance History, etc. So as you schedule your courses, it would be very wise, remember we're talking about choosing classes wisely, to go into Naviance and start to think about, where do you see yourself like post-high school, okay? Some of us may already have a plan. I'm going to go to this college or university and major in this and have a career in this field. That's awesome. Some of us may have no idea, and that's okay too, because when you go in there, you're able to start to look a little bit about like your skills, interest inventories, and maybe possible careers that's aligned to, and then start to look at like, where would you be post high school? That's helpful because as you pick your classes, it helps you pick courses here that will give you experiences within that field and also put you in the appropriate class. So what are you looking at right now? This is a helpful tool in Naviance that we want you to start to get more experience with. What we are looking at are a couple things for Clemson University. We've all heard of Clemson, right? Raise your hand if you've heard of Clemson University, okay? Really good football program, beautiful school, South Carolina, great college university. What we're looking at here are a couple things, okay? And this is all available to you in Naviance, and it's a helpful tool. So if we look at the scattergram on the far left, You'll see kind of on the left-hand side a sliding scale of GPA, and then on the bottom, you'll see an SAT sliding score. What you're looking at right there are dots, so check marks and red X's and blue dots of students that have applied to Clemson University. So if we look up there, we can see that on average, the green check marks is the students that are getting in. Those are actual students that have applied to Clemson. The students that are getting into Clemson have somewhere around like a 3.5 to a 4.0 GPA and at least 1,000 SAT score. The students that are not getting in have a little bit lower of a GPA, and even though they may have a higher SAT score, we can see that Clemson really values that GPA. If you're thinking of going to Clemson, and one of these pages exists for every college and university out there, including community colleges through Naviance, you'll see that the students that are easily getting in have like a 4.0 plus and like a 1,400 plus SAT score, okay? You can also see on the right-hand side here, our high school, Pine Richland High School's application history at Clemson. So if we look at 2023 alone, there are 46 Pine Richland seniors that have applied at Clemson. Now, most of them don't have their decisions back from Clemson yet. Last year, in 2022, our graduating class, there were 31 students that applied and only 9 of them were actually accepted. And then you can actually go back and you can look at the history there. One of the wonderful things about being a student at Pine Richland is people know that our school is an excellent school, great academic school, produces wonderful students that are well-rounded, balanced, and college ready. So schools tend to favor students that apply from them from Pine Richland. That's a benefit that you have from going here. Naviance can be a helpful tool because if you're thinking maybe that you want to go to XYZ university, and let's just say that you know your GPA is a 3.5 and the SAT's coming up, you can start to look at what the admissions requirements are and standards are at that university. And if you need to boost your GPA up a little bit, we're going to talk in a second, you can take classes that have a higher weighted GPA. If you already realize you have the GPA that's required to get in, maybe you don't have to take quite as many honors or AP classes, and then you can focus on getting a better SAT score. As a reminder for all students, college planning night, Mrs. Whalen is leading, is going to be Wednesday, February 1st. That's a virtual night starting at 7 o'clock. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to her in the College and Career Counseling office. Okay. Wanted to just pause for a quick second because, you know, we probably don't do this quite enough, but just want to make sure that we raise your awareness with this. Our grading system here, and again, this is important when you're picking classes. If you're taking a regular level course, it's weighted on a 4.0 GPA scale. So you get an A, you get 4 quality points. Our honors courses carry a little bit more weight. They carry a 4.5 weight. So again, if you get an A, you get 4.5 quality points, and that's a way that you can improve your GPA. Advanced placement courses, college and high school courses, they are weighted on a 5.0 scale. Now, if you take that class and you get an A, you get 5 quality points. Or if you get a B, you would get 4 quality points. So that students that take those AP level courses, those CHS courses, in many ways, if you look at it, if they earn a B in those courses, it's the same as earning an A in a regular level course. So not moving the slides, Mrs. K, but going back to what we just looked at with our example on Naviance with Clemson University, there are ways that you can improve your GPA if the college or university that you're looking to attend requires you to have a little bit higher of a GPA requirement. Does that make sense to everybody? Can I see a head shake just so I know that you're following me here? Okay. Can we go to the next slide? Okay. So Mrs. Kuchnicki is going to come up and talk to you a little bit more about our academic departments here.
Okay, so we're going to talk about our core subject areas just a little bit more detail. So for our English department, summer reading is required for most subject areas. When you come back from the summer in school, you will have assessments, assignments related to that summer reading. If you choose to move a course up or down a level, you will have that grade still from your summer reading. You will have an opportunity to take an AP level English course in 11th grade. And then there are multiple electives within the English department that you can explore in the program of studies. Next slide. In our science department, there are multiple different pathways that you can take based on your interest levels. Know that we do have honors and AP level classes for you. In your junior year, you can start in your 10th grade year, you can start taking anatomy and physiology and a couple different electives offered to you as additional science courses if you're interested in the science field. Remember that you do need a 90% or better in the current course in order to get to the honors course to be recommended for it. So talk to your teachers about different elective options in the science field, talk to your counselor, talk to your families, look over that program of studies to make sure that you're selecting courses that you are really interested in. In our math department, again, there are multiple different pathways. You can take AP level courses in math starting in your 11th grade year. Please know in the math department, as you move up levels in your courses, the grades are weighted a little differently. Tests are weighted more, homework a little bit less, classwork a little bit less. Depending on the class you take, make sure you talk to your current math teacher in order to see what the expectations are for the next level course. Our social studies, again, you have honors and academic level classes. This is interesting because in your 10th grade year, you can start taking an AP level course, AP European History. You can also take the honors level courses. In the senior year, you do have some new elective options. You do have history through music, sports and culture, and there's also some new honors level courses such as honors research and global issues and honors philosophy through media. So please take a couple minutes when you get your program of studies to look over those elective options as they're new for this school year. We offer a ton of electives here at Pine Richland, so we have something for everybody. Make sure that you're looking through that program of studies. We do have a new art class called Foundations of Art, which is taking over Intro to Art. Remember, that is a prerequisite for all of your other art electives. You have additional options in Family and Consumer Science, your Business and Computer Science, and those new social studies electives that I just spoke about. Beatty Career Center is open to students in 10th through 12th grade. Show of hands, who attended an informational session in Beatty in one of their classes this year? I should see everyone's hands. Very good. There's something for everyone at Beatty. If you're interested in Beatty, I encourage you to make sure that you're going there, you're talking to your counselor, you're talking to your family. They do have a spring open house coming up in March. Prospective students, please go with your families to talk to current students, to talk to the staff, to see what options are available to you. Okay, so this is where you can get our current program of studies. Dr. Hernandez is going to pull up our pinerichland.org. If you click at the top at your service, you will scroll down and click Program of Studies. On the left side, you will need to click the 23-24 Program of Studies to get to the one for next school year. You have two options. You have the HTML version, which is the flipbook version, and you also have the PDF version. We're going to click the PDF, and we're going to highlight a couple different pages here. So in our program of studies, everything is interactive. This first page is concerns and who to call. This is a very useful tool. So if you're sick and you need to know what the next steps are for creating that excused absence, please go to this. If you have a teacher concern, a vacation request, a college and career question, this is a useful tool to help you know who to contact. This next page is our table of contents. As you notice at the bottom of each page, there is a link to our table of contents. If you click that at any page within this 131-page document, you will go right back to this table of contents. Within here, you can click any department that you choose, and it'll take you directly to that page. So if we click the art page, you see you get all of the course options. And on the side, let's just stay on this page for 1 second. On the left side, you see the credit value. If you see a 1.0, that means it's a year-long course. If it's 0.5, that means it's a semester-long course. Depending on the master's schedule, it might be offered in semester 1 and it might be offered in semester 2. Then you have the course title, and then you have open to grades. So 9th graders, next year, you will have a lot more art electives open to you if you've taken Intro to Art this year. The table of contents link, if you want to click that at the bottom, it'll directly take you back to this table of contents. This is our graduation plan. Each student at Pine Richland High School has one of these, and you create it with your school counselor. It is updated every single year. I encourage you to make sure that it is updated and that you are receiving all the appropriate credits in order to graduate. Our time management planner, we talked about this a little bit. Use this as a tool. We want you to have a well-balanced academic, social, personal life. I know a lot of you are involved in after-school activities, sports, clubs, some of you work. Make sure that you have enough time to take the classes that you're interested in and that you want to challenge yourself with having that work-life balance. Again, this has a nice section for information on preparing for college. This also has more information about Naviance located within it. We do offer many AP level courses. Please make sure you are looking at the prerequisites for them. This is a potential opportunity to get some college credit within high school, as well as increase your GPA. Okay, so these are our math pathways. Again, you can move among the pathways based on achievement level, teacher recommendation, and your progress in the course. Make sure that you're talking to your teacher and following the pathway. Remember that the lab classes here do have an additional class period every other day. So we're just going to go over a course really quickly in the program of studies. You'll see each course has a course title, credit value, what grades it's open to. It also has the career clusters. These career clusters are determined by Naviance, and you can match your career clusters to your course choices. You will also get a nice description of the course. Make sure that you're reading that over and making sure that's the right course for you. And the last slide that we're going to go over, this is our business and computer applications. You notice that there are many different elective choices in this. I really encourage you to look over these to see if any of these would be helpful to you in your high school journey. I will say that personal finance is a great class to learn those budgeting and money skills, and especially for your taxes. I know that they were just doing that in there. It is a half-year course, and it's open to grades 10, 11, and 12. I'm going to hand it back over to Dr. H.
Thank you, Mrs. K. So students, this kind of concludes the presentation. Just a couple key points to highlight on here again. This week, your teachers are providing you course recommendations. That's an interactive process. Make sure that you're talking to them, understanding the courses that they're recommending you for. Very soon, I believe on February 10th, we will be opening the course form for you to select your own courses within Sapphire. The goals for today were just to start to talk a little bit about that scheduling process with you. That quick tutorial that Mrs. K just did of the program of studies, guys, I need your attention for another minute or two. That quick tutorial that she just did was meant for you to see how the program of studies is put together, okay? There are so many helpful resources in there, many of which we didn't even have time to review, but it's a great resource for you to use as you're picking your courses for next year. So the presentation from today, like we said, will be recorded. It's going to be sent out to you in a few days. Work with your teachers, your counselors, your principals. We'll make sure that we help you pick the right courses for you. Consider Naviance as a tool to start to think about, like, where do you see yourself and where do you want to be able to go? But we're here for you. We're going to work with you, and we're going to help you get the best schedule possible based on your interest and where you see yourself going one day. Thank you very much.